On this week's KSP News Show, 1.0.5 nears the end of QA testing, mini experimentals is just around the corner. And, although not planned to be released for a while, Squad reveal plans to overhaul the animations of Kerbals. All that and more on this week's, slightly belated admittedly, KSP News Show. Reporting live from the Kerbal Space Center, it's your host, Jinli Kerman. Good morning, evening and afternoon, my fellow Kerbonauts. My name is Jinli Kerman. Welcome back to this week's KSP News Show. We haven't had an episode in a couple of weeks because the KSP News over the past couple of weeks really has been sort of in dribs and drabs, shall we say. We've kind of got a little bit here, a little bit there, and none of it's really warranted a proper show, so I've decided to throw the best parts from the last couple of weeks worth of news into this one episode for you guys to enjoy. First things first though, we do have a clip from Tardigrade Gaming, which I will show you now. It's pretty epic, and well, let's play it now and let's see what you think of it. That was a clip there, guys. I do sincerely hope that you go and subscribe to Tardigrade Gaming for more stuff like that. He's been a long time subscriber of mine, and I've checked out his channel, and he does make some awesome content. While we are on the subject of channel shoutouts, I do just want to give a quick shout out to my friend Dan, aka Emperor Crow on YouTube. Link to his channel is in the description down below if you like strategy games such as Total War Shogun 2, which is what he started his channel off with, and soon to be Kerbal Space Program content as well. Then please do drop him a sub, because we've got a couple of things that we're planning to do, a collaborative thing coming up in a not too distant future, and I think it's going to be pretty cool, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it very, very much. So like I say, do go subscribe to him in the description down below, but all the shoutouts and stuff aside, let's get on with this week's episode. So let's of course start off this episode with the news regarding 1.0.5 and its finishing up in QA testing, shall we say. In the dev notes, in the most recent dev notes this week, it was posted that the 1.0.5 patch has been doing well in QA, and it's all coming together. We're entering the final phase of QA, where we merge the feature branches into a main QA branch so the QA team can test the whole update together. Once that's done and we're happy with the state of the builds, we'll be moving on to experimental testing. On the update 1.1 front, the interface work continues, meaning Philippe has been working on it very much like the week before this one and the one before that, and as far back as we can recall. UI panels, widgets and controls are being redone for the new Unity UI. Even though it feels like wading through an endless mire of work, there is definitely progress being done. 2 weeks ago, the game was almost completely unplayable. Last week, it was already possible to get through the important game transitions, like launching new flights and such. This week, most features are working again, which means there certainly is a lot of progress happening. Now, I'm so glad upon hearing this that the actual 1.1 update itself has actually been delayed, and that we're just getting the new parts and stuff in 1.0.5, because it sounds like with the actual back-end work for 1.1, they were nowhere near finished over at Squad. And personally, I'd much prefer a finished and well-working update rather than one that's rushed out of the door just because fans are demanding it. And so that's why I'm so pleased, as I mentioned in the last episode, that 1.0.5 is happening, so we can get loads of cool aesthetic content like parts and a couple of new features such as the probe relay networks and stuff. I'm really proud that I'm really pleased we're getting that sort of stuff. But I'm also pleased that we're actually waiting for the 1.1 update, the actual full 1.1 update to finish up. so that we can get those beautiful performance increases that we all are craving at the moment within the KSP community. It does suck we have to wait for a little bit longer for them, but personally I'd much prefer that if it means the game is even playable. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to 1.0.5 and all the new parts and mechanics that are going to come with it. The fact that now Squad are now in like the final phase of QA testing and are moving towards the experimentals means that it shouldn't really be too far away. I'd say expect it within the next few weeks or so. I'd say maybe 4 weeks absolutely maximum. Maybe 5 weeks, but you can never be sure with release dates for updates with Squad because sometimes things get pushed back and stuff. It's going to be ready when it's ready. I don't know the release date or anything. I do not work for Squad. All I can say is it will be ready when it is ready. But it does seem like Squad are getting very close to 1.0.5 being released. And I would say certainly within the next month and a half or so, definitely within the next 2 months, it should be released. So guys, let me know what you think of 1.0.5. Obviously getting close to release now. Obviously it's very exciting. What do you think of 1.1 progressing as it is at the moment? Do you reckon we'll get it in some sort of in like January or February? That's probably what I'm thinking at the moment, because it does seem like there is still a lot of back-end work to go with 1.1 with regards to actual Unity 5 and everything, which is understandable because it is a big undertaking porting an entire game over to a brand new engine. And obviously there's going to be a few teething problems along the way and that sort of thing, and I think we have to respect that as a community, because I think that the job that Squad are doing that is a very hard job, and it's one that's definitely going to improve the game for the better. So I don't mind waiting for it just a little bit longer if it means that it's going to work properly. So yeah, leave your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'm going to move on to the next story for today. Now for this next story, I think in the dev notes a few weeks ago I did actually miss this because it was sort of buried deep among sort of the bigger features such as the 1.0.5 and everything been announced. But it turns out that the Kerbal's not in 1.1 or 1.0.5, but in an update that's not too far away, but not in the near future, are going to be getting somewhat of an animation update. So, like, you know when you're in EVA or you're in an IVA and you look across and you see the Kerbal sat next to you and they've got the big cheesy grin on their face, or they're looking really terrified. I'm sure you've noticed a couple of graphical errors when you've actually seen that, and that was because when those things were actually modelled, Squad didn't really know what they were doing. They hadn't really done the models before, but now the game is now in its near finished state, I suppose. Well, it's been released into a full 1.0 release, so I'm guessing it is sort of the finished state. They're deciding to have a go and sort of remake the Kerbal animations. They're going to be the same as they are, except they're going to look a bit more polished than before. In this week's dev notes, it says the amazing Dan Rosas is moving ahead with his animation tests for the long-term Kerbal update, and everything seems to be working perfectly so far. He's looking to add a little extra detail to the mouth, and he has found an easier way to get an O shape. Polishing is ongoing, and once that's done, the plan is to move the model into Unity to see how it turns out in the engine. Now personally, I just think that this is something that's kind of been crying out for a while now. I've always noticed that when you're in the IVA and you look across to a Kerbal, sometimes their teeth, like their row of teeth, will sort of sometimes clip through their jaw and everything. It does kind of take away, it's not game breaking by any means, but it does kind of take away a little bit of immersion. Not that KSP is very immersive occasionally when you're sat in IVA. Some people may disagree with me there, but when you're sat in IVA and you look across and you just see someone's like Jebediah's teeth poking through his bottom lip, you know you've either crashed pretty hard or there's something going on with the game there. So the fact that they're looking into this and looking into fixing this is very cool, very nice. What I would like to see as well is maybe take it a little step further and maybe add in a couple more facial expressions. That would be pretty cool, I reckon. Maybe sort of confused face, maybe, rather than just terrified, happy and normal. Maybe sort of confused, maybe laughing or something like that. That's just a complete shot in the dark. You may need some more context to justify those facial expressions. But personally, I think that would add a little bit more humour. Like maybe if you had like a near miss and you like literally just limped into orbit with your craft. Once your engine shut down, your Kerbal would laugh or something in their little portrait, like a nervous laugh to say that they've just cheated death again. Or maybe Jebediah could give you a cheeky smile and a wink or something like that. That's just a complete shot in the dark, but I do think if that was added in as well, I reckon that would be a bit of fun. Just to almost like give you a little reward for trying to save your missions. Just something nice and small like that, just to like sweeten the honey and maybe prevent you from reverting your flight straight away and actually trying to save the mission. That's just my 2 cents though. I'd like you guys to leave your comments down below. If you could see Kerbal emotes or something like that, what sort of emotions would you like Kerbals to express? Would you like to see them have any other animations added in? Rather than just the polishing that's going on at the moment. As always, let me know in the comments down below. I am always interested to see them. But that's pretty much going to round it off for this KSP News episode, guys. Sorry this is going out on a Tuesday. I know it's a weird day for a KSP News episode to come out. Usually it's either a Sunday or a Monday. But a lot of things came up on the Monday. I'm recording this on the Monday, but I'm not going to be able to actually upload it on the Monday because a lot of stuff came up that I actually ended up having to do. So I'm sorry about that, but hopefully next week's KSP News episode will actually be on time and all present and correct. I can't promise anything at the moment because my schedule is literally all over the place with college and work and everything. But I hope you guys are still enjoying these because I know I'm definitely enjoying making them. The Dres Mission Part 2, I am in the process of filming that at the moment, so don't worry, the second part and the conclusion to it will be coming. I can guarantee you that because I'm halfway through filming it at the moment. But until next time, guys, I think that pretty much rounds it off for this episode. Remember to like and subscribe for more. This is Ginley Kerman signing off, and as always, stay classy.